3 college football games tonight, 612 tomorrow, a whole slate of NFL on Sunday. You're watching the best betting show ever. We're going to tell you exactly how to make money all weekend long. I'm Lawrence Presman. My co-host is Joe Raineri. The other guy is Art DiCesare. Art, do I call you a co-host? I think so, right? You're a co-host with Joe and I.
Sure, I like it.
There you go. And I see you got a picture up on our thumbnail now, Art. So there we go. Oh, yeah.
John
guys,
Hoagland hooked me up.
Yes, he did. Thanks for watching this, everybody. Thanks for all the comments in the comment section. Yesterday, the word of the day was nipple. A bunch of you guys put that up. Today, it is... Give me a word, Joe.
You don't want my word, Prez. You don't want my word. You do not want... Yeah, I'll tell you what. Winning. There you go. Winning. Heading into it. Let's do it. We're winning.
Yes. Put up in the comment section the word winning. Lots of love, everyone. Hit that like button. Art, let's get straight into it. Sportsbook update. We're going to start with the NFL. Then we're going to get to college football for the Friday night games. What is going on at the Westgate? What huge bets have you taken? Which NFL teams does the Westgate need to prevent a slaughter?
Well, let's touch on a couple of games we have not touched on so far in the week. Niners at Saints. Obviously, the big news with Purdy getting hurt. Saints pretty much power rated the worst team in the league. That number's completely dropped. It's now Niners -3. You're going to get Mac Jones playing quarterback. We took good Saint money at +4.5. It could all change before kickoff, but as we stand right now, we need the Niners in the game. That's not bad for us, especially if we have to go against a team like the Saints, despite the backup quarterback. Then you got 2 Monday night games. People might not realize there is the doubleheader Monday night this week. You got Bucks at Texans. Texans laying 2.5, total of 42.5. Joe, to go with your theme of the unders coming in, sharp under money on the 44.5 has moved us down 2 points. Texans have seen good money on the side at 2.5, but more money on the money line they're laying with the Texans, keeping the points out of it. And then Chargers are here in Vegas against the Raiders. Obviously, the Raiders dealing with a lot of injuries. This is a big game in the AFC West. Who knows about Bowers? Probably not going to play. -3.5 for the Chargers. You're getting even money on that. It's been pretty good two-way because you're always going to get the Raider fans here and the public, who's going to bet on the Raiders in Vegas. Total has been going back and forth from as low as 46 to as high as 47. We're now in the middle at 46.5. So that's an update on a couple of those games. And listen, I'll say it again. I like a position as a bookmaker to be in a spot to take the Niners despite the backup quarterback. It is the Saints.
I was going to ask you with that, though, Art. Like, why you'd have thought all right, we knew Kittle was out, but the minute Purdy was ruled out 2 to 5 weeks here, not a ton of movement the other way. It's not like the line went crazy on you, right?
It really didn't. And, obviously the Niners are dealing with a lot of other injuries as well. But like I said, we did initially take that Saint money, and, people are going to take home dogs in the NFL. We always know that, especially over key numbers like 3. They're even going to take the worst team in the league, above a key number. But it'll be really interesting to see what Mac Jones can do for the Niners. I mean, obviously he doesn't have many guys to throw to. He doesn't have the tight end. So that is a fascinating game.
Art DiCesare joining us. Art, I want to stick to a couple of NFL games real quick. So Miami, we got a -1 at some shops and a -2.5 at others. I'm curious where you are on this game, or is it just one that's kind of under the radar?
It is a little under the radar, Prez, but we're 1.5 on the game. We had talked about the other day. That look-ahead line was 2.5. We got to as low as Miami 1. I think that's going to see pretty good two-way action. I think New England will be very popular on teasers. You get them over the 7. And I think because it's a short spread, if you can get New England at +105 or even money on that, I think people will take a shot with New England there as well.
Yeah, and just with me still, Joe. Guys, if you watched the show earlier on the week, Art came on and he told us Baltimore had been bet down to 10.5 to expect a buyback. We have seen that, Art, so great information early on in the week. We've also seen some money coming in on Arizona. There's 7s on the board. We've seen money coming in on the Jets. We're down to 6 almost everywhere. And we're seeing money coming in on the Giants. We're seeing money coming in on Chicago. Are you seeing all the same things?
We are. The one thing I will say about the Chicago game is we, from our end, have seen a little bit more money on the Lions. You know, we'd opened that 5.5, got to 6. But everything you said is correct, Prez. I mean, we had the Jets as an opener of 7. They took the 7. They took the 6.5. We're now 6. Giant money did come in. We did move off the 6.5 with Arizona and got to 7. That was sharp money, by the way, which moved us to 7. So all the moves that you have talked about have pretty much been sharp moves and moves that I guess were expected. You know, I'm with you. I think that eventually there will be some bear money because there's usually some bear support in the market, but, you know, not for us yet.
Joe, talk college football.
Well, we had an interesting game last night where I guess the total went flying over there, Art, although it wasn't looking good for North Carolina State early, down 14-0. I mean, to return the opening kickoff. So that was pretty fun. But how about the 3 games tonight? Again, quarterback change in Colorado. Has that moved the line? Has it not moved the line? What are we seeing?
It did. That game has gone all over the place. Right now, we're Houston -4, total of 45. We got to as high as 6.5 on that game. So we got to 6.5 on the game. There was nibbles on Colorado there. You know, but despite that, we've seen pretty good two-way action on the game. So there's nothing crazy as a decision so far because despite the early money at Colorado at the high number, people are still, even this morning, laying Houston at -4. So pretty good. We just don't want to get middled. Obviously, 5 isn't really a number you see a lot, but we would want to avoid that. Over money also came in. It was as low as 43. This middle game, K-State at Arizona, this has flipped. We now have Kansas State as a favorite, -1. There were some still picks out there this morning, but we had opened this game Arizona -1. We will need Arizona. It feels like it's just been one-way traffic on Kansas State. Over money 2 from 53.5 to 54. And the last game, which is an ugly game, has seen not a ton of action. UCLA at home laying 15 to New Mexico. Over money, though, from 51.5 to 53. They're not trying to lay 15 or 15.5 with UCLA, so we have not seen a lot on the side.
Yeah, blowout expected in that UCLA game. Big line on a Friday night. Art DiCesare, Joe Raineri, you're watching the best betting show ever. Hit that like button, everybody, please. Let's get back to the Canelo-Crawford boxing match. It's on Saturday, Art. Where's the money on this fight right now?
Well, when we talked yesterday, Prez, we had Canelo -$1.75. We're now Canelo -$1.70. So it's been a 5-cent move there. The take back on Crawford +150. It's been pretty good two-way action. Right now, if, let's say, we didn't take any more bets and we had a result, we would win on Crawford, lose a little bit on Canelo. The one thing that we've seen a lot in and a move on is in our index props when we're putting up Crawford to win KO, TKO, DQ, draw, decision, all that type of stuff. The Crawford one, for him to win by KO, TKO, or DQ, has seen the biggest move. That was as high as 10-1. We're now 7-1 on that in that index prop market. So that is the one they are betting the heaviest, looking to take a shot at a big number.
Yeah, I got to tell you, good time to have fight time back too in the middle here as well. Let me ask you one other final quick one, Art, since the Ryder Cup is just around the corner. Do you do a lot of golf handle there? Do a lot of people get interested in that coming up next week?
There's no doubt about it. We will, and I know our head guy, Jeff Sherman, one of our VPs, is working on Ryder Cup as we speak. So he'll get a whole bunch of stuff out there. And obviously for all the majors, we try to do as much as we can. Ryder Cup definitely piques interest of the hardcore golf fans.
There we go. Guys, before we get into our parlay of the day, I just want to make mention that yesterday I did probably the most eloquent, beautiful eulogy for Charlie Kirk. It was like 5 minutes long. It was stunning. It was just heartfelt. It covered the left thoughts, the right thoughts, the middle thoughts. The producer cut the whole segment.
I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'll look on the floor, Prez. I don't know. I don't know what happened to it. I really don't. I don't know. There might have been some sort of audio issue, or maybe it was just your voice. I'm not sure, but no. We did. Unfortunately, didn't make the final cut.
Did not make the show, but I'll tell you guys, you missed a masterpiece. Just wanted to let you all know. Okay? So yes, Joe Raineri, I listened to this show over. Barely, mind you. I barely listened to the show over.
Yes.
Parlay of the day. Yesterday we gave out the college football parlay of the day. Check that out. Last week we won our college football parlay of the day. This week we're going with our NFL parlay of the day. And my play is the Miami Dolphins on the money line. And I will explain that bet a little later. Art, you go next.
I'm going to go to Monday night, a game we touched on. I like the Texans under a field goal at home. I am a little worried about their offensive line, but I think it's a tricky spot for Tampa going on the road after a big divisional win on the road. Texans -2.5.
Wow, you guys are brutal here. All right, so I am going to go and keep it simple. Just go 3 money lines. I'm going to go Detroit money line at home against the Chicago Bears. I doubt very much Chicago and that anemic offense and quarterback are going to go in there and get it done against that Detroit defense. So I like Detroit on the money line as well.
Well, yeah. So my money line bet is around 115. Yours is around 4 million. With that said, let's cash that bitch regardless. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the price is if it doesn't win, Prez. So,
well, you don't like Miami, Joe?
I'm just saying it doesn't matter what the price. You can have the best price in the world, but don't win. And what does it mean? Squadouche.
Art, before you leave, survivor pick. Obviously, a lot of people are going to go with Baltimore. I'm thinking Arizona. Any thoughts there real quick?
Yeah, I think Arizona is going to be very popular as well, which is interesting because they were very popular last week because they were going against the Saints. If San Francisco was healthy, it would have been San Francisco, but no one's going to take them to survivor.
Ooh. Yeah, I think they're going to be people who outthink themselves and take New Orleans Saints. And by the way, I like San Francisco. Art, thanks for doing this, man. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Art DiCesare from the Westgate with us. As good as it gets. Lots of love. And any quick bet you like? Anything you love this weekend?
I like the under in the Steeler game.
Yeah. That makes sense, especially with how many points they put up last week. Art DiCesare, everyone. Thank you. What a segment. Love having Art DiCesare with us. Joe, it's time for the PTI section of the show. We got 4 topics. Each of them are 2 minutes long. Before we get into that, though, let's get some business taken care of. We have a Weekend Warrior football special. This is our all-access pass Saturday, Sunday, and we have thrown Monday in as well. So, for instance, with me, I've got 3 college football plays on Saturday. I have at least 5 NFL plays on Sunday and 1 on Monday. You get all of that for only $49. This Weekend Warrior offer can be used on any handicapper you want, myself and Joe Raineri, and you could use them on all the handicappers. So you could. It's not a one-time only offer. So check that out because it's such a perfect way to see how Joe and I bet, what our client bets are, etc. And Joe and I are both up cash. I've won every single day this week, so I'm absolutely rolling into the weekend. Joe Raineri, that's the Weekend Warrior Pass. We also have the buy one get one free that ends on September 16th. Yep. That's where they buy you for 30 days. They get me for 30 days. So that's another really good promo. Time for our NFL best bets. Joe Raineri, I go first. Cue the clock. Okay, guys, I got 2 minutes to give out a whole lot of bets. I'm going to give you 2 sides, 1 teaser, and 1 prop bet. Let's start with side number 1. I like the Miami Dolphins. I like them on the money line. I like them up to -2.5. And let me explain this to you real quick. I understand how bad they looked last week, and I am not a supporter of this Miami Dolphins team. I don't like their coach. I don't like the team, and I don't even like their uniforms. With that said, this team just had a humiliating loss. And to a man, if this is not the best game they play this season, their coaching staff will be fired. The Tua will be done. I think it all literally comes down to this Sunday for this Miami Dolphins team. That loss was so horrible. They also are not playing a very good team here. So I look at Miami and I think to myself, they're going to get it done. New England's no juggernaut. Take Miami. The other one is Pittsburgh. And I was not high on Pittsburgh coming in this season, but I was less high on the Seattle Seahawks. I do not believe in this team at all. I do not believe in Sam Darnold. And I think that what happened in New York last week with Pittsburgh is electrifying for that team. I think it galvanized the team. I think it brought the team together. I think that team feels like it could make a run. I think Aaron Rodgers played well, and I think there's value there. Take Pittsburgh -3 against Seattle. As far as a teaser goes, I won my teaser for you guys last week in this segment. My teaser this week is Arizona and Detroit down. Take them down to a pick 'em. And there's a 2-team 6-point teaser. And a prop bet for you guys is Justin Fields over 60 yards plus 215. Joe Raineri, those are my 4 NFL bets. What are yours?
Oh, that's impressive. All right, we'll get the clock going here, Prez. I'm going to start with that Pittsburgh game taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And Pittsburgh banged up a little bit without 3 projected starters now, I believe, including their safety in Deshaun Elliott. You also have their lineman, Derek Harmon, the rookie, gone, as is inside linebacker Malik Harrison. All have been ruled out with knee injuries. So what did the Steelers do? They had to go and get Jabril Peppers off the scrap heap as some sort of depth move here, but they're going to be in trouble here. They're going to be in trouble simply because they couldn't stop the Jets with a terrible offensive line running the ball. They are not stopping the Seattle offense coming into town here with those 2 running backs, not to mention it should be a very interesting game with the Seahawks defense, who, call me crazy, watched that game last week. They were they should have won that game, could have won that game. But unfortunately, San Francisco made one more big play at the end. But I like the Seahawks not only to cover this game, Prez, but sprinkle a little something on the ML there. And then, of course, you've got Arizona, which I like a lot here. I think Arizona takes care of the Carolina Panthers, who have been absolutely horrific with Bryce Young. They were bad last week against Jacksonville. I don't see how it's going to get any better this week against Arizona, especially that Arizona offense that's going to be able to run it right down their throat. I think it's blowout city for them. Also, Prez, you mentioned teasers here. Any which way with a teaser, I've got to look to include the Buffalo Bills, pushing them down. I like the Jets plus the points, but I like the Bills to win that game. So if I can get them and let's say maybe Arizona down to even, I think I am good to go with that one as well, Prez.
Well, there we go, Joe. So you and I differ on this Pittsburgh-Seattle game. That'll be an interesting one. We'll talk about it on Monday. Guys, hit that like button, please. Make sure to comment. The word of the day is winning. Put it in. I like the guys who commented yesterday the word nipple and how they incorporated it into this show was nipple, Prez. Anyway,
It was nipple.
Yeah, dude. This is the best show I've ever been a part of, flat out. I think the show's spectacular. Joe, 2 minutes, every MLB game on the board. Let's hear it.
Oh, my goodness, Prez. All right, under the clock, here we go. All right, Major League Baseball rundown. Early today with the Rays and the Cubs. Boz versus Boyd. Boy, is Boyd come back down to reality after the All-Star break. I like the Rays bats in this one. I think that's a really good price at plus money to jump on them to get it done. Royals and Phillies. Phillies refuse to lose, or maybe that's just because they played the Mets. But they've got Walker Buehler on the mound, and what could go wrong there, Philadelphia? How about the Pirates and the Nationals? You got Mitch Keller against, oh, Lord, and he is awful. So I am going to absolutely back the red-hot Nats to get it done against Mitch Keller. And then you got the O's with Trevor Rogers going against Chris Bassett, two guys that are really, really good starting pitchers in this spot. But the O's, 9 of 11 they've won. I think they can get another one here. The Guardians at home taking on the White Sox. Tanner Bybee on the mound for the Guardians. They'll get it done against the White Sox. They're throwing Martin Perez on the mound. Did you even know he was still in the league? Marlins are atrocious, even with Alcantara. They're not beating Skubal. We can move past that. Louis Heel against Giolito. Can the Yankees keep it rolling from last night? Probably not, because they have a bullpen that's a total gas can. I'll take the Red Sox. You got the Rangers and the Mets. DeGrom pitching at Citi Field for the first time since 2022. The Mets, dumpster fire, stick a fork in them. I'll take the Braves, actually, with Waldrop on the mound to get it done against the Astros. Diamondbacks, 3.5 games back from the Mets, and they get to take on the Twins this weekend. So there you go. That could be 3 more wins for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Brewers will get back on track, whooping up the Cardinals. Padres will definitely beat the Rockies. The Athletics are going to hit some runs in this game here. I like the Athletics to get it done against the Reds. The Mariners will keep it rolling. And the Dodgers and Giants, who cares? They're both going to beat each other up anyway. So there you go, Prez, your Major League Baseball rundown.
Wow, 2 minutes every game. Unbelievable stuff. Let's keep the show moving along. Cue the clock. Let's go into our mailbag section. And Joe, right off the bat, Pat writes, Joe rattled off 6 wins in the baseball segment yesterday. Good stuff, Joe. However, Nathan calls you a square ball. Any thoughts?
Yeah, no. Thanks for watching, though. We appreciate you tuning in, Nathan, as always. My square ass thanks you from the bottom of my heart. But do appreciate you, as well as the rest of you guys in that chat room hanging out with us each and every day. We certainly do appreciate it. Do our best to point you in the right direction. After all, that is what it is. It's really all about. But you guys rock. Keep the comments coming, man. We certainly appreciate you. That's for sure, Prez. I'm good.
Does your bank account give a rat's ass whether you are square or rectangular?
No. But Nathan should just settle down and understand what the difference between, public and sharp is. But that's why you're watching the show, Nathan, isn't it?
Paul Wheel writes, Miami super overrated as per usual. Thoughts? He's talking the U.
Yeah, well, no, Miami is only overrated towards the back end of the season when they fall apart. Usually this time of year, they look pretty elite, and the U fans get real excited about it, Prez, and they should be, because they're going to roll over South Florida again this week.
There we go. Other than that, we had a lot of great comments. People are really enjoying the show, and I'm so appreciative of that. Keep putting up some of those comments, guys, every day. You have no idea how important it is to us. Keep hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel. Lots of love, everybody. Let's have an incredible weekend, and we'll see you guys Monday. Also, real quick, Joe and I, Andy and Teddy and a bunch of people will be doing a live show 1 p.m. Eastern on this channel, WagerTalk TV. It's our live in-game betting show. Check that out, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Joe, other than that, thanks for doing this with me, brother. Let's all win together, and I'll see you on Monday.